But let's explore it a little deeper. What is true wealth? It's not just money. In fact, I once heard that wealth is what you have left over after you've lost all your money. So let's talk about the Miracles Wealth Formula. Money is what most people think of. They think of cash, typical monetary wealth. That's what they think of when they think of wealth. Money, the green stuff. But I say it's money plus time. Wealth gives you freedom. It helps you have time to do what you love, to make a difference, to choose what you do with your energy and your wealth. So now we have money times the time you spend at your leisure, at your choice, and the resources you have. That's the knowledge you have. That's the information you acquired. That's the applied wisdom you use. You need all of this, the money, the time, and the resources, and you need connections. This is very important. I learned a long time ago that everything you want, including money, is going to come through other people. That means you need to have relationships. You need to have a good relationship with yourself, a relationship with money, and a relationship with others in your life. And then you want feeling, which is your wellness, which is your health, which is well-being in the mental and physical and spiritual arena. All of this ends up being true wealth. So it's not just money, it's not just time, it's not just resources, it's not just connections, and it's not just feeling. It's all of it. So the Miracles Wealth Formula is important because the problem it solves is you must define wealth for yourself or you will never reach it. You'll always be seeking it. And you'll be seeking it because you don't know what you're looking for. So how do you solve this equation for your life? How do you solve the equation when you're inside of it? The Miracle Wealth Formula will help you create the things you think are now miracles. Here's how to implement it in your life. This is really important. The art and science of co-creating miracles. I want to reveal the three pillars. This is how you co-create what you want in life. The very first pillar is mindset. That's paradigms. That's intentions and counter-intentions. That's brain hacks. So what do I mean? When most people think of mindset, they think they either have a positive mindset or a negative mindset. And that is a oversimplification of what you have at your disposal. A paradigm is a way of looking at the world. When I was homeless, I looked at the world as being against me, and it was dark, and it was scarcity, and it was lacking, and it was terrifying. And when I was in poverty, I saw the very same thing until I shifted my paradigm and moved into abundance. I had to see it, feel it, and experience it in order to have it as a reality in my life. So mindset is more than positive or negative thinking. It's actually a nest of beliefs that support you in co-creating miracles. Intentions and counter-intentions, I alluded to this a little bit. Having the intention for wealth is one thing. But if you have the belief money is the root of all evil or wealth is bad for you, that's a counter-intention, and it can slow, stop, or even destroy your intentions. Brain hacks is how you use your brain. For example, most people don't know that we tend to attract into our life what we love, what we hate, and what we fear. They don't think about that, and they're focused more on what they hate and what they fear. As a result, they get more to hate and fear. You have to use your brain. And if you go back to what I said about the witness, you're not your brain, you're not your body, which means you're a witness and can operate them. And the second pillar is motion. I'm a great believer in taking action. I've written over 90 books. You don't write 90 books by sitting and visualizing them. You might start with sitting and visualizing, but then you got to move to start writing and publishing and promoting. Inspired action is when you get an idea through inspiration, through intuition, through an opportunity that resonates with you, and you jump on it. You take action. Life is movement. You don't have to do it all, but you have to do something to co-create your wealth. And you have to do it continuously. When people would ask me, Joe, how did you go from homeless through poverty to writing 90 books and being in 30 movies and now having your own movie and being in The Secret and having hundreds of products and having your own miracles coaching program? How did you do all of that? And I would say continuous, persistent action. You don't have to be obsessed. If you're doing what you love, it'll just feel like fun. And refined action means as you get feedback on the action you've taken, you refine and take more action. And the third pillar is the mystical. The mystical is referring to the witness within you, the I of you. When I learned Ho'oponopono, which is where the four phrases came from, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I learned about the I. And the I is not the ego I, it's the divine I. And there is a divine I within you. The ego I that you are accustomed to has limitations. The divine I within you is unlimited. There are no limits there, and co-creating miracles is easier. You can also ask what you want from the mystical, from the divine, if you will. You can also receive information, inspiration from the mystical, from the divine. And all of it leads to an awakening. I created the awakening course many, many, many years ago. And as I mentioned earlier, the first stage is awakening. But there's 3 other stages. And the last one is where you awaken to your own divine power. And that's where you can co-create miracles, including wealth and anything else you can conceive and believe. It's all natural too. If the benestrophy of all the forms of wealth were to appear all at once, it would look like a miracle. But no matter what it looks like, it will have come through natural means. In other words, you live in reality, not in a Harry Potter universe. So even when great wealth comes to you, it'll come through some sort of explainable natural means. It may look miraculous and almost impossible to the rest of the world, but between you and I, it will be the natural occurrence of a miracle.